The month of December has brought a number of transportation firsts to Shanghai over the years. In tonight's final edition of Shanghai Stories, produced in cooperation with the SMG Archives, Mark Lev looks back at some of the city's big changes on the ground and in the air.
China got its first airline named for a city 27 years ago this week, this city. Shanghai Airlines began as a state-owned domestic carrier in December 1985, but eventually went international and public before merging with China Eastern Airlines 3 years ago. In 1995, Shanghai Airlines needed more flight attendants, and nearly 1,700 laid-off textile workers in Shanghai needed a job.
Honestly, when I was a textile worker, I never thought about flying in the air, but I always yearned to fly.
Jiang, who already had relatives working in the airline industry, was one of only 18 women from that group whom Shanghai Airlines eventually hired and trained. Most were married and already had a child, an unusual hire for Chinese airlines back then. Jiang says having a family made it easier for her to understand the needs of small children and older people. After 15 years of flying, she had to retire when she turned 50.
I was truly unwilling to stop. I couldn't sleep for about a week. Truly, once you fly, you never want to stop.
And she hasn't stopped completely. Now she trains flight attendants for Spring Airlines. In December 1999, Shanghai became the first city in China to start selling smart cards that made it easier for people to ride public transit without carrying around a lot of coins. Now the cards can do a lot more than pay metro and bus fares. More than 30 cities use them. The Shanghai cards also work in nearby cities like Suzhou and Wuxi, and there's a national project to get all the cards to talk to all of the system. In December 2000, Shanghai Metro riders got a new place to use the fare cards, as the city and the country got its first elevated metro line. Some sections of track had walls to keep the noise down for neighboring apartments, and to keep passengers from seeing some ugly buildings. Back then it was called the Pearl Line, and it was the city's third metro line. This man said it cut his 2-hour commute down to 30 minutes. Now it's just line 3 of the 11 already running, with almost as many new lines planned over the next few years. And on the last day of 2002, Shanghai's magnetic levitation train to Pudong International Airport had its official launch, though it would be a few months before regular passenger service got underway. It was the world's first commercial high-speed maglev and is still one of only 2. The other one, in Japan, runs much more slowly. The Shanghai maglev hasn't been as successful as its designers had hoped. Planned extensions of the line have been cancelled, and the number of riders has been way down ever since Metro Line 2 was extended to Pudong Airport. But the Shanghai maglev has inspired similar projects in other countries. Just this month, transportation authorities in Orlando, Florida, the home of Disney World, tentatively authorized a line running from Orlando Airport to the Regional Convention Center. But by the time that happens, if it happens, people in Shanghai will be able to go to the Disneyland right here and do it on the metro using their transportation cards. Mark Lev, Shanghai Live.